because just so they can see what we're doing, but I'm just going to be really, really quick. Can you guys, oh, hang on, got to connect this up. Can you guys please quickly tell me, after you've told me what number that says? 8131. Can you guys just quickly tell me what a conjecture is? It's a mathematical statement. You need to say whether it is false, and you need to actually say it's definitely false with an example, or whether you can support the conjecture. It appears to be true given our examples. And how many examples do you need to give? At least three examples. And there's some examples there, and I'll put those notes up on the Padlet at the end of the lesson. Okay? All right. So now we're going to look at calculators quickly. So you guys did this in your EPW, so it shouldn't take too long. So what section are we going to go to on your... So if we go to sequences, on most calculators it's quite far down, but you can actually move these around if you want to. Now, it's really important that we see this screen because there's a couple of different screens on here which we need to change early on, otherwise we start making mistakes. So the screen which is there at the moment, like this, notice here it says A0. And later on, when we do a lot of finance, we use A0, okay? But beware that that says A0, because a lot of the ones we use at the moment have what as the start of the rule? A1 or term 1, okay? In your calculator, instead of T for term, it uses A and B and C, okay? Yes? No, only recursive. So in your specific... And I didn't mark it out because I couldn't remember which one. There is one exam where they made a mistake and they put one explicit sequence into, but there was an uproar. I went to the conference where they talked about it. Okay, so since then they will never ever put an explicit sequence in there. Okay. Okay. But no, because it's very serious. If they put something which isn't in the syllabus in the WAIT exam, it's serious because the entire state of people haven't taught that because it's not in the syllabus. So it's not fair. Pardon? It gets checked a million times. They start the year before. Yeah. All right. So uses A and B instead of T for term. Okay. That's just because you might want to have two sequences which you look at. Okay. So it's really important that this is what we look at, that A1 and the A0 type thing. So in your calculator, it goes in here. How do we change that so that it's A1 instead of A0, Joe?
Well, we've got to type.
Type. Good. So if we go to type, there's 4 different types of sequences there. And this is the important bit. You always have to do this first. You have to choose... you have to choose your type. All right? So the first thing you want to do is you choose your type of sequence. All right, so within this, you've got 3 types. So this one has term 0. So often this is used for like finance. Okay, this one means that you've been given term what? 1. So this is the type we've mainly been looking at. Okay, what's this next one? It's a Fibonacci type sequence. It does matter. All right, so I'm not sure. All right, Fibonacci type sequence given. What information are you given in this? Term what? Term 0 and term 1. What about the bottom one here? Fibonacci again. Given term 1 and term 2. So the first thing you have to do is you have to look at the sequence you're given and pick the type. All right, because that's where you've got to put in. So if you had an example of this, this might be like Tn plus 1 equals 3Tn, T0 equals 12. Okay, this one might be Tn plus 1 equals 3Tn, T1 equals 15. Can you see the difference between them? That's what you need to look at first. Okay, so you need to pick your type. After that, it becomes quite easy. So for example, let's try and do Tn plus 1 equals 2.5 Tn, T1 equals 18. So we pick our type. Which type are we going to do? The second one. All right. So now it's all changed. How do I put in Tn for the first one? What's it going to change to being? It's going to be An. And we need to put in 2.5. I'm not going to be able to do it. Sorry, you should just press it on your 2.5 An. Oh, that says Bn. An. It's if you want to put in another sequence and another sequence. Okay? So, what is our term 1? 18. And we have to tick the box. So, put in sequence. To put in An, where do we need to go to? Good. We have to click on that to get there. Okay? And then we need to actually find our sequence. So how do we actually get our table of results? Good. We click on the table button there. The third button, the first button. Oh, I love this. All right. Guys. You're in year 12, we need to get through this. We're going into lunchtime, we have to finish this. The longer we take, that's the way it goes. All right. So, I click on that table button. We will in a second. Yes. Okay? So, with this question, I just want to show you something which is really important. Sometimes you want to get from term 0 to term 1,000 or something like that. And if I do that, how do we actually change, the list of numbers? Good. Okay, it's the two arrows. X, Y, where is it? Over there. Okay, so I'll just, sorry, it's not very big for you guys. So it's just here. It's that one there. So, but I need to show you one thing because this is where people get stuck in tests and they go, I've done the wrong thing. Beware, if your sequence starts at T1, you cannot show T0. There is no T0. If the first term is term 1, you can't get term 0. And your calculator will do that. So if I click on that button and say I want to get from term 0, sorry, again, I can't click that button. If I want to go from term 0, it's okay. Term 0 to 5, it's going to come up as invalid table input value. Okay? You can't get term 0 when the sequence starts at term 1. So you need to be aware of that. But if your sequence starts at term 0, you can go back to 0. Okay? So just be aware of that. So it comes up as, what did we say? Invalid table input. All right, how do we find the sum of the terms? Diamond. So to find the sum, Okay, click on the diamond, and then, oh, hang on, you need to be in with the equation. And that, what's that little sign mean? Summation, summation display, and you put that on. Okay, so diamond, summation display, and then put that on. Everyone okay with that? So diamond, there. Anything else we need to know about sequences? Write your homework down. All right.